So today is President Biden's 81st birthday, and his age could be a concern for voters as he's slipping in the polls.
I have not heard this. Peter Doocy joins us with the details. Peter.
In the 2 weeks since I asked President Biden why he's trailing Trump in all these battleground state polls, and President Biden told me I was reading the polls wrong, the polls have continued trending away from him. Just look at this one. An NBC News hypothetical head-to-head with Trump and Biden has Biden down by 2. Then you look at the presidential preference among voters aged 18 to 34. Trump is leading Biden 46 to 42. And then Biden's job approval among independents down at just 30%. The disapproval number, 63% in that NBC poll. We know that in a variety of polls, roughly 3/4 of voters have cited President Biden's age as a problem for them. And it's a problem that just got worse. Today is his 81st birthday. The year he was born, World War II was happening, Casablanca was premiering. The average price of a home, $3,770. That's it. The average price of a gallon of gas, 20 cents. It's also the same year White Christmas by Bing Crosby debuted. The former Obama election guru David Axelrod has been warning President Biden's age is a legitimate problem for Democrats for months. And now President Biden is reportedly referring to Axelrod, a man who helped get him elected vice president, as an expletive. And so the Axelrod response in the New York Times, I don't care about them thinking I am a expletive. That's fine. I hope they don't think the polls are wrong, because they are not. And as somebody who has been called an expletive by this president, not the end of the world. Back to you.
Famously, the president called you an inappropriate name that really made your mother very, very angry. Peter, it was brilliant in putting together what happened the year that Joe Biden was born, because that was a long time ago.
Gas for 20 cents?
Yeah, and especially now, young voters who hear him talk a lot about the good old days are the ones who are struggling to buy a house because things are expensive.
Or struggling
Interest
to put
rates
gas
are
in
a
our
lot.
cars.
And then we got color television.
Well, and so there are a number of write-ups today where it's talking about how President Biden talks so much about things that young voters, basically people who are not in their 80s, have a hard time connecting with, and that would be a big part of the reason why.
All right. Are they going to wheel out a big cake?
No
Is everybody going to
celebration.
sing to him today?
And then he's going to go pardon the turkey.
He's got to go pardon the turkeys, and then he is hitting the road for a week in Nantucket.
Right. Needs to relax.
Celebrate.
Thanks so much.
You know, lots of boxes.
The Wall Street Journal says, given Biden's age and obvious decline, running for re-election is an act of profound selfishness. He's selfish.
That's why his family this weekend should say, you know, Uncle Joe, time to go.
See, you're suggesting an intervention.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with the Biden family. They love being the first family.
They're good at interventions, I imagine. They've probably tried that quite a few times with other members.
And the people around him love being friends with the president. Unfortunately, you look at him, and it's like, is he really the best we got?
Don't worry, Kamala's there in case of emergency.
Like a repeat, though, of Barack Obama telling him in 2016, Joe, you really don't have to do this.
Yeah, because he picked Hillary.
How about our president has to have a bubble wrap strategy? It's being reported that there's a bubble wrap strategy to make sure he doesn't fall.
Right. Well, that's good. One fall and he's out.
He'll look like the Michelin Man.
Right.
Wrap him with bubble wrap.
What a great invention bubble wrap was, though, right? Or so we'd stuck with those little styrofoam things. But thank goodness we had a scientist working on this.
Invented by a guy in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, his uncle invented camouflage.
That's right. Well, we're pursuing that.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.